Well, hello again. It's so nice to see you today. And I am excited to decorate, sing, and share stories with you again today. Why don't we see what's in our Advent calendar for December 8th? So here you've got it. Let's find out. Oh, now how do you suppose something this big fit in there? I guess it must be Christmas magic. But here we have a ball with a bunch of sea turtles at a beach on it. Isn't that cute? Well, this reminds me of Christmas in Hawaii. And why don't we hang that here? Now, in Hawaii, it's very warm there at Christmas time, and it doesn't snow at all, and it's also too warm for the common types of Christmas trees to grow, things like pine trees and fir trees. And so in Hawaii, they often decorate palm trees for Christmas. I think that sounds like a nice idea. Well, native Hawaiians used canoes to travel around the islands and to fish. And so sometimes, if you see a picture of Santa Claus, he might be in a canoe instead of on a sleigh. And you might even see it pulled by dolphins, since they don't have reindeer in Hawaii. Well, to say Merry Christmas in Hawaiian, it's just like you say in that famous song, I bet you know it, Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say. So it's Mele Kalikimaka. Mele Kalikimaka. Do you want to try that with me? Mele Kalikimaka. 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 Mele Kalikimaka. Well, it's time to keep learning the song we started yesterday. Do you remember it? It's called The Holly and the Ivy. So why don't we sing the beginning together, and then we'll learn the second part. The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. Now the second part has a similar melody or tune, but different lyrics or words, and it goes like this. Oh, the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. So those lyrics talk about things I bet you've seen before, like a sunrise. Well, and I bet you've also seen deer before, and we have a deer ornament on our tree right here. Well, deer can run very, very quickly. I bet that would be nice to see a lot of deer running. And the next line is the playing of the merry organ. And an organ is a musical instrument, kind of like a piano. And then sweet singing of the choir. Well, that's what we're doing together. So all together we have, oh, the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. So why don't we try singing those lines together 2 times, okay? Oh, the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. One more time. Oh, the rising of the sun, and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. Very nice. And tomorrow we'll try both parts together, okay? But for now, it's time for our story of the day. And today is part 2 of Jimmy Scarecrow's Christmas, which was written by Mary E. Wilkins Freeman and comes from the Children's Book of Christmas Stories. So if you missed part 1, you can go back and watch yesterday's video. That's December 7th, but I'll catch you up anyway. So Jimmy Scarecrow was a Scarecrow who was very sad because he'd been left out in the cornfield all winter, and it was quite cold, and he got all wet and just was shivering. And then Betsy, the girl whose farm it is, came out and brought him her Christmas present, as well as a quilt that her aunt had made. She wanted to cheer him up and also to keep him warm, and that was such a nice thing to do, I think. Well, Santa Claus happened to be passing by the farm on his way back to the North Pole, and Jimmy Scarecrow called out to Santa. He decided he was going to take Jimmy up to the North Pole with him. "Get in, Jimmy Scarecrow, and come with me to the North Pole," he cried. "Please, how long shall I stay?" asked Jimmy Scarecrow. "Why, you're going to live with me," replied Santa Claus. "I've been looking for a person like you for a long time." "Are there any crows to scare away at the North Pole? I want to be useful," Jimmy Scarecrow said anxiously. "No," answered Santa Claus, "but I don't want you to scare away crows. I want you to scare away Arctic explorers. I can keep you in work for 1,000 years, and scaring away Arctic explorers from the North Pole is much more important than scaring away crows from corn. Why, if they found the pole, there wouldn't be a piece an inch long left in a week's time, and the earth would cave in like an apple without a core. They would whittle it all to pieces and carry it away in their pockets for souvenirs. Come along, I'm in a hurry." "I will go on 2 conditions," said Jimmy. "First, I want to make a present to Aunt Hannah and Betsy next Christmas." "You shall make them any present you choose. What else?" "I want some way provided to scare the crows out of the corn next summer when I am away," said Jimmy. "Oh, that is easily managed," said Santa Claus. "Just wait a minute." Santa took his stylographic pen out of his pocket, went with his lantern close to one of the fence posts, and wrote these words upon it. "Notice to crows. Whichever crow shall hereafter hop, fly, or flop into this field during the absence of Jimmy Scarecrow, and therefrom purloin, steal, or abstract corn, shall be instantly, in a twinkling and a trice, turned snow white, and be ever after a disgrace, a byword, and a reproach to his whole race. Per order of Santa Claus." "The corn will be safe now," said Santa Claus. "Get in." Jimmy got into the sleigh, and they flew away over the fields out of sight, with merry halloos and a great clamor of bells. The next morning there was much surprise at the farmhouse when Aunt Hannah and Betsy looked out of the window, and the Scarecrow was not in the field holding out his stiff arms over the corn stubble. Betsy had told Aunt Hannah that she had given away the crazy quilt and the doll baby, but she had been scolded very little. "You must not give away anything of yours again without asking permission," said Aunt Hannah. "And you have no right to give anything of mine away, even if you know I don't want it. Now both my pretty quilt and your beautiful baby doll are spoiled." That was all Aunt Hannah had said. She thought she would send John after the quilt and the doll baby next morning as soon as it was light. But Jimmy Scarecrow was gone, and the crazy quilt and the doll baby with him. John, the servant man, searched everywhere, but not a trace of them could he find. "They must have all blown away, ma'am," he said to Aunt Hannah. "We shall have to have another Scarecrow next summer," said she. But the next summer there was no need of a Scarecrow, for not a crow came past the fence post on which Santa Claus had written his notice to crows. The cornfield was never so beautiful, and not a single grain was stolen by a crow, and everybody wondered at it, for they could not read the crow language in which Santa had written. "It is a great mystery to me why the crows don't come into our cornfield when there is no Scarecrow," said Aunt Hannah. But she had a still greater mystery to solve when Christmas came round again. Then she and Betsy each had a strange present. They found them in the sitting room on Christmas morning. Aunt Hannah's present was her old crazy quilt, remodeled, with every piece cut square and true, and matched exactly to its neighbor. "Why, it's my old crazy quilt, but it isn't crazy now," cried Aunt Hannah, and her spectacles seemed to glisten with amazement. Betsy's present was her doll baby of the Christmas before, but the doll was a year older. She had grown an inch and could walk and say "Mama" and "How do." She was changed a good deal, but Betsy knew her at once. "It's my doll baby," she cried, and snatched her up and kissed her. But neither Aunt Hannah nor Betsy ever knew that the quilt and the doll were Jimmy Scarecrow's Christmas presents to them. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope that it inspires you to do something nice for someone else who might have things a little bit worse than you, because you never know how much it might cheer them up. And I think that's probably one of the most important things we can do this year at Christmas time. And really, in general, not only when it's Christmas. Well, I hope these videos have cheered you up or brightened your day or made your Christmas time feel more special. Why don't we end our time together today with another Christmas carol? And this one is called "O Come All Ye Faithful." And if you know it, why don't you sing with me? O come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Thank you for singing with me and joining me today. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.